Okay, I guess we're live. Wait, get the camera up. All right. Setting things up. He came with Ninth Man Nation stuff on. I was lazy. I didn't. So, welcome to Inside the Nation podcast, the Ninth Man Nation version of our podcast.
Yeah.
This is Victor Santiago.
Hi, everybody.
Just to let you know, we may get some notifications pushed like you just saw there from time to time, so just ignore it.
Yeah.
Whatever. So this is basically our live stream on YouTube. My name is Eric Thurow. As you know, I'm the one that founded Ninth Man Nation back in 2013. Like I probably said in previous videos, that it's just too busy. I couldn't cut it. At the same time, I had a full schedule, work job, and then I also had the family life at home, and then I also had taking care of San Jose's Ninth Man, the fan club of the San Jose SaberCats. So that's kind of hectic, and Victor can contest to this. The way that I ran San Jose's Ninth Man was almost like a business, and that's also how I'm running this. Ninth Man Nation is like a business as far as reaching out, and it is, in a sort of sense, is a business, and it's under my Thurow Media umbrella. So with that said, we're here. He's going to be the new co-host of Inside the Nation podcast. Pretty soon you probably have heard me say the term vidcast, like video casting, like what I put in the title of this live stream. Basically what that means is it's going to be more like a vidcast. Like if you can imagine going to your TVs and turning on, say, Fox Sports 1, and you get the Herd from Colin Cowherd. You get Undisputed with Skip Bayless
and Shannon Sharp,
and then Joy Taylor in the middle.
Yeah.
Minus the Joy Taylor part. Those kind of shows, and the Dan Patrick Show, those are the types of shows that we're going to be having here in Ninth Man Nation. Now, keep in mind, we're just starting out with this channel and going live on it. But our shows will more likely be recorded. We may do some live episodes here and there, plugins, but our main episodes will be recorded, and they will be uploaded here to our YouTube channel and featured also automatically as they are uploaded to the Ninth Man Nation website. We will take the audio stripping of that as soon as it's uploaded to YouTube, and then also upload it to our podcast platform, which is Spreaker. That's Spreaker. You can also go to the Ninth Man Nation and under media, click on podcasts. So with that said, we're going to do it right now. Also, not to get anybody hype, I'm in talks to have a third person join our video show here. I don't know how much information I can really put out for that, but he is a former arena football player. That's it. That's all I can say. Right?
Right.
Yeah, so he is from the true Iron Man days. That's it. I can't say anymore. Don't tell me anymore. So that's all I can say. And so we're working out scheduling with that. Most likely I'm trying to get podcasts to be uploaded on Tuesdays. So today is Tuesday, and then of course I'll have the newsletter go out on Tuesdays, so the podcast and newsletters will go out. So that's basically it as far as for right now. What do you have to say as far as, go ahead and let Victor know, and he's just sitting there, now he's going to be on podcast. Let him tell you to you guys a little bit about him and what experience does he have in the Arena Football League. I know there's a little blurb about him on the Ninth Man Nation About Us page. We need to continue that a little bit further, but he'll go on, and he helped me out first officially with the Arena Bowl 29 in Glendale.
29 in Glendale.
In Glendale.
Arizona.
That was his main first set of really helping me out.
Yeah.
With the Philadelphia Soul. So maybe his Philadelphia's good luck charm, I don't know, but go ahead and introduce yourself and Tell them about your experience with the Arena Football League.
Oh, this is Victor Santiago calling, and I went. It's Arena Bowl that I've been there. It's very experienced atmosphere, but sometimes I'll go again. Sometime in the future. The one in Arizona is pretty nice. Nice people here.
Yeah.
And over in Stockton, for that SaberCats and the and what was it? The Jacksonville Sharks that we went there. It was very. I like the Stockton Arena.
But when was your first taste of arena football? It was the SaberCats.
The SaberCats, yeah. That was the first SaberCats arena bowl back in 2002.
So your very first arena football game was the Arena Bowl 16.
Yeah.
At the then named Compaq Center in San Jose.
Yeah.
Against those Arizona Rattlers.
Yes.
Yeah. We're all gonna rub it in and say that they didn't score a touchdown until 9 minutes left in the game.
Exactly.
Sorry, Cedric. I had to do that. You know me.
Yeah.
It's just funny. Okay.
Yeah, the first one. This was the first arena bowl. That I'll never forget the experience, the atmosphere that the SaberCats.
And that basically locked you into becoming a season ticket holder.
Yeah.
So basically, before that Arena Bowl, did you experience the Arena Football League in any other way, as far as for maybe watching it on TV or listening to it on the radio?
I would say I listen. Sometimes I listen in the radio.
Yeah, and going to the game is better than actually listening to it in the media.
Right.
It just shows you that going to a game, you can't judge the game by watching it on TV. You actually have to get your ass to this arena and watch the game.
Yeah.
Now a lot of people are going to question, but everybody, and I know everybody has this mindset right now that the Arena Football League, that's not real football. That's indoor. That's only. That's not. They're not pros. They're professional athletes. I mean, they've graduated college. They're getting paid a paycheck. They are professional football players. But they're nothing. Everything is NFL is king and all that stuff, and nothing will compare to NFL. NFL is an outdoor game. It's a different game.
Yeah.
You can't really compare it except for they're both football.
Okay.
My perspective is because I've worked with the outdoor game back in high school, and last year, Victor knows this, that I was helping out a local community college that former SaberCat head coach Darren Arbett is now the head coach of down in Aptos.
Right.
And that's the outdoor game, and it's fun, but it is still, for me, it was still slower than the indoor game. The indoor game is fast.
I agree.
Anybody I know, since the majority of football played is on the 100-yard field, you got all the way from the Pop Warner kids playing outdoor games, you got the high school kids playing on 100-yard, and then you got college playing on 100-yard, community college, whatever.
Yeah.
You have all the outdoor games, but you don't have arena football capabilities in those lower levels, like in college or in high school, whatever, to grow the athletes. Say, do you want to play out the outdoor game or the indoor game? They give them choice, as they now have. So everybody's so mindset and used to the outdoor game that that's their only way of knowing football. They don't, even though the Arena Football League is now in its 31st year, people are not aware of it, or if they come across of it somehow, they're so closed-minded and so stubborn that they won't acknowledge it as real football, professional football.
Okay.
My personal perspective, hit the mic, is that this football is more genuine. I mean, the class of players, coaches, and the fact that you're able to go and become friends with them after the game. Each team has 30 minutes on the clock once they get settled in, when they, the officials and all that stuff, and they set up tables or whatever they're going to do, that they have a 30-minute block time to where fans could come meet the players, the dance team members, mascot, the coaches, and maybe even the ownership, of the home team. Most likely the road team will not, some players may stick around a little bit here and there, but most part they're more like trying to get ready to go back to their home. And then some teams even further, after that 30 minutes at the arena, they go to a restaurant that is one of the team's sponsors, and they have it's mainly for the team to have their post-game meal, but they invite their fans there to come meet them in the casual, where the players are more like in their street attire. You know, they're not in uniforms, and you get to sit down and have a conversation with them, and it's relaxed, and that's one of the best things. You can't get that with the outdoor game because everybody's worried because of the name stake on these fans and how much these players are grossly paid.
Yeah.
That they get such big attitudes with them that you can't really become friends with any of these players. And once in a great while you will, but these players don't make them. They don't reach out to the fans as they do in the Arena Football League. What's your thoughts on that?
What's my thoughts? They should after the game they should they should communicate with the players, and then I've seen people signing autographs and talk how's your game going. Okay, they say it's okay, it's all right.
Yeah, everything with the outdoor game, the NFL, everything's so corporate run.
Yeah, the NFL is different.
Yeah, the NFL, it's so corporate run that the players are almost like mandatory to get into the locker with like 5 minutes of the game, and ending, whether they win or lose, it doesn't matter, but just to get there, because they have to basically go to the press conference and do all these pressers for all this media.
The media, yeah, okay.
By when you have, but then they should go ahead and do that, and give them maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes at the media thing, and then let them go.
Okay.
But there's so much media outlet that they don't control the media, and you ask and the media asks the same question over and over again.
Yeah.
Maybe a different phraseology and all that stuff, but it's still the same question. And then you get the stat sheet just like everybody else. Read it and put that in your freaking news report. But anyways, the Arena Football League, it's just it's unique in its own right. It's a standalone thing, and it's much better. Apologize for the background noise in here. We're actually at a local restaurant. We were meeting up for this, and then we decided to hop on live. And we needed to take care of business, start getting this going. And I needed to introduce this guy, and pretty soon I'll introduce our third party to our vidcast, our podcast hosting. So, but anyways, so it's just great, and the Arena Football League is down to 4 teams, which I get it, and I think, without directly admitting, I think the AFL made a mistake hiring Scott Patera, commissioner. I mean, we thank him for coming on at the Inside the Nation podcast, when we first started, and it was honored to have a commissioner from a professional sports league come on our podcast that we just started, and we're basically really nobodies, but we're introducing ourselves, and we're getting all these people out there to create conversation, to create and continue the interest in the league, especially since San Jose here, we lost our team.
Exactly.
Now everybody is
3 years ago, exactly 3 years.
Yeah, now it's been 3 years. This is the second full season. 16, 17 seasons are gone. This is the third full season that we're without a team. Basically, and second full season that California and the West Coast have been without a team. You may consider Arizona still having a team. Yeah, the Rattlers are playing, but they're not an arena team anymore. They're an indoor team. And I've gotten reports from fans down there and friends that live down there that have gone to games. It's completely different. They try to do their intros and their game day entertainment the same and everything, but there's a lot less fans. It's not the same.
It's pretty different. You see some star arena football players now gone. You see some IFL players coming in here, which that doesn't feel.
Yeah, the Arena Football League, no matter who says anything, the Arena Football League will be always the major league of all the other leagues that are trying to compete in the indoor field
there.
I'll go ahead and I'll admit the league is the Indoor Football League, or IFL, the Continental Indoor Football League, the CIFL, the National Arena League,
the American
Arena League, which I started, and those are all indoor leagues, minor league to them. No matter how much somebody says that the NAL is the next professional things, you're in smaller markets. You're not going to be a major outfits. You have to be in the major markets, and in order to be considered a major league sport. Jacksonville was really never a major league market. Yeah, they have the Jaguars there.
Yeah.
But as far as ranking,
Well, Jaguars made it to the AFC title game as far as it goes there.
Yeah.
But
But anyways, and there could be hints of the AFL returning to the Florida area next year.
Mm-hmm.
Did I just say that? I don't know, but maybe.
But
no, there has been speculation reported on Twitter. I've read on Twitter that the Arena Football League is going to expand to 4 more cities, and that way next year they would be playing with 8 teams.
Mm-hmm.
I know Commissioner Bo came on and talked to our friends over there, Tim Capper over there at Arena Fan, saying a couple of markets that he would like to go, but wasn't saying that means they're going to be in next season. They have them in their mind. They just said that you can make all these city lists, but it doesn't mean you're going to reach out to them right away. Excuse me. So, but what I'm hearing is Newark, New Jersey, play at the Prudential Center. I've heard Brooklyn, New York, play at Barclays Center, and now that Barclays Center may be losing a tenant in the Islanders. So the Nets could be wanting to have the Arena Football League there to get another tenant there, even though they don't play in the same season as the Brooklyn Nets do. And I'm hearing the return of the Orlando Predators and Tampa Bay Storm next year. Now, I don't know what this thing is about the cost that Tampa Bay would have to fork out money to travel north for all their road games. They would have to do that no matter where that, because unfortunately where they're geographically located, unless they have some team down in Miami, and of course the Orlando Predators, all their teams are going to be north of them. Because that's just the way they are in geographic, and that's not the issue that Jeffrey Vinnick had, as far as for not playing. So, as far as I understand it, he has all the Tampa Bay stuff, the field and everything up in storage. So he's probably going to be returning next year.
He is. Okay.
From what I'm hearing, that it was just the fact that the league was he wanted more of a definite answer on what the issue with the league is and their handling with the collective bargaining agreement.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why he really left the league for this 1 year, as what we know. We haven't heard that he's gone permanently.
Okay.
And we haven't seen that he's gone for multiple seasons.
Yeah.
As far as we know, he just suspended for 1 year because there is no certainty of the CBA. And
okay.
I'm not saying that he's coming back. I'm not going to say I am reaching out. I'm doing my due diligence to reach out and get confirmations. I won't. That's why I'm just finding. We know of these rumors and speculations out there. We want to make sure that they are correct before we actually publish them over here on any of our social media or any of our postings on ninthmannation.net, our website. So I'm coming out right now just saying that we are aware of it. We want to make it aware of what we're aware of, what we're hearing. Yeah. But not saying that it's official or it's true. Just saying that we are aware of what's being told out there by certain people on the Twitter universe. So, but what are your thoughts? What do you think the expansion cities of those Spanish cities to be great? I heard Detroit too.
Yeah, Detroit. Yeah,
Little Caesars Arena.
Yeah. We'll see how it looks in all those new arenas.
Yeah, I agree. I do agree with the expansion way.
Yeah.
That
Detroit might be a good place to play in.
I'm hearing that the expansion, the way that Commissioner Bo, and hopefully we'll get him on an episode here, as well as other league officials and team officials, and of course players and coaches.
Yeah.
That I'm hearing that Commissioner Bo wants us just to keep the expansion on the East Coast. Of any expansion to happen, it'll be East Coast related. I think he said he wanted to get a solid footing of maybe 10 teams on the East Coast, and then he'll come out west, and then he'll expand slowly on the West Coast.
Okay.
And that's what I'm hearing. That's coming from Commissioner Bo.
Okay, this will take time for in the years to come in the future.
Yeah. So you could look at this year as being the base that's being formed and solidified this year for this 4 teams, and then next year most likely we'll have more teams. I know, unfortunately, Victor and I were in a restaurant, and they didn't have the audio on for the CBS Sports Network broadcast of the Washington Valley Philadelphia Soul game last week. But if I could get the audio portions back of that, or just get the video of the game back, Ari Wolf said that they are going to expand and that they will come with 4 additional teams next year. Now, I know Ari Wolf personally, and knowing Ari Wolf the way I do, what he says is most likely going to be true, because he wouldn't say anything other than that. If it wasn't true, he wouldn't say it. You know, so the fact that he's reporting on live TV that there's going to be 4 teams next year was great. Of course, he didn't say the markets,
Right.
so that sort of says that there aren't going to be 4 teams next year.
Yeah.
Or what markets they're going to be. Like if he says they're going to be in Detroit, but there's not going to be one in Detroit next year or whatever.
Right.
It's going to be in somewhere else, like in Boston or whatever, or whoever, who knows.
Yeah. Or
But
something.
you know,
Or Rhode
I know
Island.
everybody's in a hurry to get expansion. You
Yeah.
Teams were not handling the money correctly. This all started when the league came back in 2010.
Yeah.
The business model that the league chose to go and operate in was not conducive to having successful franchises the way they were operating.
Okay.
And especially when you invite. I have an article back on Ninth Man Nation I did by like a year and a half, 2 years ago, maybe last year, before last season. Basically explaining the situation, and it basically states that Commissioner Baker wanted to set this whole league up to be more of a centralized business model, like a single entity, and he had plans for that since 2007 season. And then he resigned in 2008 to go accept the job at the Hall of Fame for the NFL.
Yep.
But basically, it wasn't only him. He was working with Jim Renacci, who was at the time the owner of the Columbus Destroyers.
Okay.
He was working with Shai Anderson, the chief operating officer for the Dallas Desperados, and Craig Spencer, who was part of the ownership group for the Philadelphia Soul. Those 3 people were working to get the business model to where it was when they came back in 2010, the single entity. That was a flop.
It is a flop.
It was a flop.
Yeah.
But I think what made it a flop is by welcoming the AF2 teams into the situation, knowing that their business costs were going to go up tremendously. And as far as for travel, their travel is going to cost. And then for the big market teams that you would have, like San Jose, Philadelphia, Orlando Predators, Tampa, you know, the hardcore, they would have to go to Tampa or like to Spokane, but they wouldn't be able to have direct flights. It would cost them more because of the flight situation. So and the hotel and all that stuff. So costs, you know, and crude. And and of course the cost of doing business in California was one reason why the SaberCats was one of the reasons why the SaberCats didn't come back in 2010. They could wait until 2011.
Right.
But ultimately, it was cost that run these teams. The Oklahoma City Yard Dogs lasted only 1 year. Tulsa Talons lasted 2 years before they had to get sold. And then they moved down to become the San Antonio Talons under new ownership.
Right.
And that was a complete flop of that ownership. Yeah, there was some bad diligence done on the part of the league on vetting the owners that were coming in trying to buy teams up or take over for existing teams. Spokane Shock is an example of that. You know, they had good ownership coming into the 2010 season.
Right.
That fantastic fan base.
Exactly.
Goal Line Bandits and all them. But the ownership couldn't sustain them, so what they did to try to keep owning the team one more year before they were forced to sell them was the fact that they sold the naming rights and the brand and logos and trademarks of the Spokane Shock back to the league. And they did that in an effort to keep the team there one more year, or as they were to find a new owner. And now the new owner came on, but this new owner came on, and he came on more, I guess, hungrier than what he can actually really, you know, eat. His appetite was bigger than what he could eat. And he didn't have the financial wares of keeping the Spokane Shock in the league. And that's why he had to leave and go to the IFL, and then look at 2 years into the IFL And because the fans didn't come back like the way they were when
Right.
they were shocked, they were the Spokane Empire now,
Yeah.
and it's a different result.
Yeah.
Different, less money coming in.
Yeah.
Because tickets were down and everything was down, revenue was down, but he was trying to run the business the same.
Right.
It didn't help the fans up there. Now they have nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty soon, I think this is what's going to happen with the Rattlers.
The Rattlers
Rattlers might, I'm surprised the Iowa Barnstormers are still around, and I know they had major issues with the Wells Fargo Center there, or Wells Fargo Arena.
Yeah.
And the management of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it just shows you that the single entity model that came into play in 2010 basically ruined the league.
Yeah.
You got teams supporting other teams. You got the buy-in to become a team at a certain amount of money, which didn't help out. And then everybody paying the same pot for the players, and which is cool. But the fact remains is that the single entity, with the way that ownership was with the Arena Football League, was not going to help. A lot of people were spending outside the books what they were. The league was trying to control expenses and make it everything equal, when you can't do that when you have teams like from San Jose, LA, that were in higher cost of business areas and marketing than, say, like in Arizona Rattlers. They have high cost, but they're not as high cost. It's cheaper to do business in Phoenix. Or you have Portland, which is really cheaper, and you have, who else? I'm missing names. Orlando's cheaper to do business there. Tampa, maybe about the same, or a little bit less.
Yeah, a little bit less.
Philadelphia is definitely less than San Jose and Kiss. And
Los Angeles.
yeah. So, but my saying is that these teams come in. So, and then you have the team from the American Indoor Football Association, the AIFA.
Yeah.
The Utah Valley Thunder Bears. Coming in, and they changed the name to become the Utah Blaze.
There, yeah.
And their ownership failed, and then when they did finally get their ownership straightened out, and the ownership came in, and they bought into another whole year, and then that's when the commissioner came in and said, no, we want 2-year commitment for these teams. They weren't ready for that. They were still transitioning and fixing the mess of the previous ownership, and they couldn't do it.
You couldn't do it there, yeah.
So the way the league handled itself, it was just very bad, very bad, and that's where we are now. I wish Randall Bowe the best, straightening everything out to expand the league. But I know the Monumental Sports Family Entertainment is all high on this OTT stuff. Keep in mind, not everybody on the West Coast or the rest of the country is aware of that. And that's too localized to the DC area. That's not the way to go. The way to go is to keep TV broadcasts and TV style broadcasts, because that's where everybody's eyes are. No questions about it. Streaming is not 100% there yet, so we can't entertain it. The Facebook Watch thing is something new. I thought, since they would go towards, they're trying to do this e-sport thing and all that stuff, and gaming and all that stuff, and the OTT. I thought if they would do live streaming of the game, they would go on Twitch and live stream on Twitch. But with that, you're only limited to Amazon and its platform, and so you're not reaching out to people. So yeah, I think until the league gets back to where they're at least on both coasts and have well-established groups on both coasts, and they can have play golf, that's when they should start talking about maybe more centralized and stream and TV broadcast. And radio. Maybe team up with Sirius XM to do a radio show. So I guess, what is this? 5:02. So we have gone on for about 30 minutes now. So if you have any questions, once again, we're just conversing, and we're going to have more conversations on this. We do want to make one quick note that the release from the Washington Valor earlier this morning regarding Nick Davila, he underwent surgery to stabilize his neck injury. He had no neurological damage, so he's immediately going through rehab and physical therapy to get better and fully heal. We send our prayers out to him. And hopefully he does come back, and hopefully he could come back and decides to come back in the 2019 season. If it's with Washington Valor again, so be it. If it's with some other team, so be it, you know. But if it's with a new expansion team, you know, we hope he comes back. We just hope you're full recovery, Nick.
Get well, Nick. We're praying for you.
So, and that's it. If you have any questions, this initially started out, you know, we didn't really have any plans on the format of this live stream. I know that I wanted at least to introduce Victor here. Right now, he's coming in onto to be a podcast. We're gonna bring him in slowly, and then we have our third party guest possibly coming on. We're gonna work on that and work on the scheduling between us and him and what have you.
Yeah.
So, and that's it. So, I'll sign off, and I'll talk to you all later.
Bye.
Where's the stop button on here?